This is Charles Balcer with a special edition of Speak NJ. Today's show is going to celebrate the life of our late city historian, J. Owen Grundy, who lived from 1911 to 1985. Owen Grundy was born in Jersey City, the son of Julia Salter and John Owen Grundy. His father died when Owen was an infant, and Owen was raised by his mother. Owen was a shy child, a bookish child, who loved history, and he was especially proud of the fact that his mother's family was descended from Abraham Lincoln. The Salter family had originally settled in what is now the lower end of Bayonne, the southern end of Bayonne, which was known as Salterville. Owen was a very studious boy, and he began correspondence throughout his early years with many of the leading political figures and people who were interested in history and so on, and accumulated quite an autograph collection during those years. The correspondence that Owen built over the years led him to seek work as a journalist because he wanted to seek out more the roots of his family, the Grundys and the Salters, and their origins in Jersey City. In the late 1950s, Owen Grundy became the editor of what is known as the Villager newspaper in Lower Manhattan, a paper that still exists today. Owen loved Jersey City, and in the years that he was the editor of the Villager, he lived in Jersey City, and he took a keen interest in knowing the locations of many of Jersey City's most historic spots. During those years, Owen began writing columns for the Jersey Journal, and in those columns, some of which were as much as a half-page long, he would illustrate in detail the many people and activities that took place in Jersey City from its early formation and how Jersey City became one, being formed from 5 separate communities. And he was appointed the city historian by Mayor Paul Jordan back in the 1970s. He began as an archivist with the Jersey City Public Library and soon assumed the role of city historian. His office was in the public library on the 4th floor, a very small room, where Owen kept a lot of memorabilia, both family and from local history. And it was there he often held court and met with many people from the community who were asking and seeking his advice on many matters related to historic preservation and civic betterment. During that period of time, Owen began writing a small history of Jersey City, which was published by the Provident Bank and which is still circulated today and has become basically a kind of a thumbnail guide to the history of Jersey City. Early 1970s, Owen decided that it was time for community groups to form together so that they can improve the conditions in their neighborhoods. And Owen began by writing letters to people he had met during his time as city historian, and he actually called a meeting at the public library in the early 1970s. And from that meeting began the Van Voorst Park Association, which is still in existence today after 30-some-odd years. And from that, there were spin-offs such as the Hamilton Park Neighborhood Association, the Paulus Hook Association, Bergen Hill Association, available. And no one realized early on that the views from Lower Jersey City, especially on the waterfront, once these old decrepit warehouse buildings and maritime facilities were gone, that the view of the New York City skyline and the river would be greatly improved. And it was during this period that he decided it was time for the city to create a park. In the 1980s, the city committed to creating a pier, a park that extended outward at the foot of Montgomery Street or Exchange Place. We hope that you will enjoy the video that we have incorporated into this show of the rededication of the J. Owen Grundy Pier. Thank you very much for Speak NJ. This is Charles Balcer, and good evening.
Daughter, Deborah Little, and Charles Balcer, which is my husband.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a glorious morning for Jersey City, so welcome. Welcome back to J. Owen Grundy Pier Park. We're very proud today to have Nanette Grundy to my left here today, the widow of the late J. Owen Grundy. So at this time, Mayor Healy and Nanette Grundy, please reopen our park.
Ready? Okay, on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Let's go.
On behalf of my mother and myself, I want to thank everyone for all their efforts, their dedication, and their hard work. And I just wanted to share with you a short little personal story about Owen. One evening we were sitting around the dining room table having a nice meal, and as soon as the meal was over, everyone was off running, doing dishes, making phone calls, whatever, with our busy lives. So somehow I sat there. I was a teenager at the time, and Owen looked around and then he said to me, jokingly, "Have you noticed the art of conversation is dead?" So with that, we just chuckled and we sat there and we talked for a while. So I was just thinking today, what a nice tribute this is to Owen, to know that this is a place where people can come to keep the art of conversation alive. Thank you.